Hello everyone and welcome to another Formula One vlog ahead of this Spanish Grand Prix 2020 edition. This is the pre-show and a lot to talk about today. Most of it concerning Racing Point. I mean, they are taking all the attention these days. A bit concerning Mercedes too and some other teams. So let's start right away. Remember to like and subscribe. So let's start with Racing Point and the good news. Sergio Perez, he is now cured from COVID-19 and he will be racing in Spain this weekend. He was there during the race interviews and super happy to be back. Missed Formula One during those 2 weeks. They were pretty tough on him. But now he's happy to be back and stronger than ever. He will want to make up for the last time and deliver a good performance this weekend. Obviously, him coming back means that Nico Hulkenberg will not be racing this weekend. It's the end of the journey for the Hulk, but he will stay on standby for Racing Point until the end of the season. And likely for other teams too. He's shown that, he's ready to take a seat in a Formula One car if needed. So we gotta ask now, what is next for Hulkenberg after delivering an amazing performance at the 70th anniversary Grand Prix last week? Well, rumors are that he is talking with other teams for a possible full-time return in Formula One. After the race last week, Ross Brawn said that at the time when he was working for Mercedes, that if Lewis Hamilton was not coming to the team, Nico Hulkenberg was actually their second choice. That just shows how good of a driver they think he is, how respected he is in the paddock. So if he wants a seat, he might actually get one. Apparently there was a lot of talk with Frédéric Vasseur, director at Sauber, Alfa Romeo. Both knows each other. Hulkenberg has been racing for Vasseur during his junior year in Formula 2 and Formula 3. He had also a brief stint at Sauber when he started his Formula 1 career. So this is a possible avenue. We cannot discard the possibility of maybe taking a seat at Racing Point next year. He's shown that he understands the car and can do some really awesome job. And other teams, it's still up to discussion, but most seats are already closed at this point. So yeah, maybe Alfa Romeo for Hulkenberg or maybe back to Racing Point, who knows. And let's keep going on Racing Point. Let's talk about what's next for them after they've been fined 15 points and 400,000 euros for the design of their cars. After last week, it was said that yes, their car was not designed as in a kind of legal way. It's gray-ish, but we are still they're still in the legality, so they can run their car for this year. But now the FIA is looking at how they can close those loopholes in the rules to prevent from seeing 20 Mercedes copy next year on the grid and everyone doing the same thing. And also until the end of the year, Racing Point will only get away with reprimands from the FIA for each races. But now teams are not super happy about that. So Ferrari and Renault are both appealing the sentence given to Racing Point to have a more severe ruling. So we'll see how it goes. It's worth noting that McLaren and Williams did not pursue the the path of Ferrari and Renault, so they are out of the appeal. But it also shows that the top teams want to potentially, get more out of that, and they may have some other proofs that the rules were breached. For McLaren and Williams, who are not going with the appeal, I think they are satisfied with the fact that the FIA will change the rules so that this does not happen again. So for the spirit of the sports, they are happy and they don't want to go further. But for teams with big budget, especially considering that Racing Point will be Aston Martin next year, they want to just, I believe, probably impede a little bit what's gonna happen, so that we have, I don't know if it's a reputation issue, but whatever they can do, I guess, to prevent another top team from emerging, they will do. Here it's only a case of big teams thinking of their own interest and nothing more. And on the other side, Racing Point also appealing their own sentence, meaning that they want to get back those 15 points, and they also don't want to pay 400,000 euros, which is obvious. Nobody wants to pay that amount, no matter what the situation anyway. So it's a topic that we will follow for the next few weeks. It can just go in any way at this point. It's we had a first ruling that the car was legal, and now it's partially legal but legal enough to run. It's just crazy. But for now, let's focus on the weekend ahead. We are in Barcelona for the race, and we are in the middle of the summer now in Spain, which is unusual for the Spanish Grand Prix. Usually it's in mid-May, which means that this year the temperatures will be a lot hotter than they usually are, which means that we could again have a really interesting race. We've seen it last week under hot track temperatures. Mercedes is suffering, and they want to make up for that, but it's not a 1 week fix, that's for sure. So what can we expect this weekend? Well, Barcelona is a track that everyone knows really well, so they have at least an idea of where they are going. But Friday practice will be all about learning about those tires and how they will degrade, especially for Mercedes. This could be almost a turning point this season, considering that even the next few races are going to be in warm conditions, Belgium and Italy, and this could turn in Red Bull's favor, which would spice up the championship. So what can Mercedes do this weekend? It's a mystery. Also, Valtteri Bottas will be eager to make up for last week. He lost even more points in the championship run, and he will be mad. I think that after getting a contract renewal, that's not the kind of gift he expected for the race, being almost ditched by the team in favor of Lewis Hamilton. And on the other side, Max Verstappen will be super happy that we are going again to race in hot condition. I don't think that Red Bull will have the advantage from the get-go. I think that for the race, yes, Red Bull has an advantage at the Circuit de Catalunya, but it's gonna be again a strategy race, a race to really look forward to. And it's it's always funny when I see that, because Mercedes looks so perfect since the preseason testing, and now we come up with this crazy Formula One season. I think we can call it crazy with everything that's going on this year, and suddenly a flaw appear, and pretty big at that. Just goes to show that no matter how good your car might be, how perfect it can be, there is nothing that is actually perfect in Formula One. There is always this one little flaw that will appear under the right circumstances, and we found it for Mercedes. It is currently heat, and it is great for us, the fans, because it is spicing up the race. So interesting to look forward to that this weekend. Another one who will be looking at avoiding issues this weekend is Sebastian Vettel. It was announced that he would get a new chassis for his car after they supposedly found some small defects on the one he used at Silverstone. Now, is this truth, or is it only to put back Sebastian in a good mood and just give him his confidence back again? I think the second option is more plausible. Just they will kind of give him something new, which will not really be something new, maybe a few tweaks here and there, but they said that whatever the issue might have been, it was not a fundamental issue. And we've seen it with Charles Leclerc, who finished third at the first Silverstone Grand Prix and fourth last week. So the car is good, or as good as can be under the circumstances, but Vettel just cannot find the pace with it. And yeah, it's either confidence, or maybe his head is not really in there, since he's not going to be at Ferrari next year and doesn't know where he will be going. And he could be going at Racing Point also. That there's been a lot of rumors lately. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, if Vettel comes back and beat Leclerc like by a huge margin, I'm gonna be the first one surprised. But you know, Ferrari are still trying to get more points and fight for the championship, so it's only fair. And they expect Seb to do the best job possible, and you know, that's also his own reputation as a driver that's gonna take a toll if he cannot deliver the goods. Quick notes on Carlos Sainz, who will also be hoping for a race with no issues. Recently he's had so many issues, not in the race itself, but well, a little bit in the race, but mostly in the pit lane. We've seen wheel gun not working, traffic in the pit lane costing him, you know, 3, 4, 5 seconds, and just dropping him far behind where he should actually be. So he said he hoped this week everything will go in his favor. We can also talk something a little bit funny. Did you know that Cyril Abiteboul, the team principal at Renault, might actually get his first tattoo this year, first ever tattoo? But there's a catch. To get this tattoo, it's actually a fun bet that he took with Daniel Ricciardo. If Daniel takes the first podium of Renault since their comeback in 2016, Abiteboul will get a tattoo. And apparently it would be Ricciardo decides the design and Cyril decides the size and where. So it's a funny story, but also bit of a motivation, I guess, for Daniel, who's gonna leave Renault at the end of the year. But you know, it's just like, I think it's just funny. And finally, I want to end by coming back to Racing Point and want to ask the question: should Lance Stroll start feeling the pressure in that team? And I think it's a legitimate question, because we've seen since he's been there, Stroll never has been a huge performer. And I'm not saying he's a bad driver here, I'm just looking at the facts. Never beating his teammate by a large margin in any cases. And last week, Hulkenberg, third place in qualifying, and would have beaten Lance Stroll in the race if not for really big vibration at the back of the car, forcing him to pit. And here I'm asking, yes, should Lance Stroll start feeling the pressure? Because next year it's going to be Aston Martin. Yes, his dad owned the team, but it's a business. Formula One is a business, and you want what's best for the business. And here I cannot accept anymore the excuse of experience gap between the drivers that Lance Stroll is facing. It is his fourth season in Formula One, fourth season. By that time, Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc were already winning races. So was Michael Schumacher, and even guys like Jacques Villeneuve and less renowned driver. And Stroll has never shown that he had a championship winning pace. And yeah, I mean, like I said, fourth season Formula One, second year in that car, he got the experience, and Hulkenberg comes back and beat him, like really beat the crap out of him. So that's where I start to wonder who will be racing at Racing Point next year. Perez supposedly has a contract, but who knows? Stroll is the owner's son, but honestly, I don't want to see this as an excuse to keep him. It's not that I'm saying he's a bad driver. I mean, he's in Formula One, so of course he's a good driver. He's better than you and me, that's for sure. Otherwise, we would be racing at his place. But is he Formula One caliber? I think he did not demonstrate it at this point. And just think for it for a second. Imagine next year if we could have at Aston Martin Racing Sergio Perez and Nico Hulkenberg. That would be a bomb. Or if they decide to stick with Stroll and Vettel ends up there and Perez is a free agent, imagine in another team, Haas, Alfa Romeo, or I don't know, name it, a team with Sergio Perez and Nico Hulkenberg. Both drivers did miracles when the team was still called Force India, and they can still do miracles now. So that would be incredible. And that's my opinion. You have the right to bash on it. Leave a comment and tell me what you think about that. Is Lance Stroll a good or a bad driver? And I think we're gonna end it there. Please like and subscribe. Look forward for the Spanish Grand Prix. And I will see you again tomorrow after the or today. I don't know when you're watching this. Or maybe it is too late and the Spanish Grand Prix is finished. But I will see you after the free practice sessions of the Spanish Grand Prix. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you have a good day. It's pretty nice here in Montreal today, and I'm gonna go relax and take it easy. See you and enjoy the race this weekend.